Hey everybody, how's it going? So this is my failed attempt at the GEM Equinox VST. As you can see, we have the standard faders that you would expect from the normal hardware. In addition to that, we also added an amplitude section, we had octave, we had tuning. This whole software ran on raw waveforms, so I'm going to try to test it, and I'm going to see if we can actually get some stuff to work, because right now this synthesizer is not working, and I'm hoping by end of the week to try to get a working version of this. So yeah, I'm going to continue to test, continue to fix, and I'm going to keep you guys posted, so stay tuned. Okay, so here's my official update for GEMClub Equinox. First of all, first thing you need to know is that I unfortunately had to migrate the entire project into a new software. So from now on, I'm going to be using Maze Sampler. Unfortunately, it is not possible to create GEM Equinox using SynthEdit, as there is no Rompler feature included. So with that being said, I'm just gonna bring the microphone into the screen here and check this out, guys. You honestly thought I was gonna play a general music sound, did you? Well, that demonstration did prove that the system works. So what I've done is I've already gone ahead and started creating the UI, as well as import the samples. So first things first, for those who are familiar with general music, you guys are gonna feel right at home, because this entire file system is exactly the same as the hardware. The only difference is, as you can actually see, we've got sections here which is lower and upper. This is for the split, so we've actually separated them as separate sounds. So, and they're all categorized in numerical order, so all the way down to sequencer German. So all general music Equinox purists will feel right at home, because it's exactly as described in the actual hardware. And the same applies for the drawbars. So we have B3, B3 scan vibe. It's all in perfect order as described on the hardware and the manual. In addition, we've also gone ahead and created a new UI. So this is going to be the official UI for general music. Unfortunately, I had to do some major modifications. So we got the volume, the attack, decay, sustain, release, cutoff, and tuning. We can select our sounds, we can select our bank. These sound buttons will open the menu. The bank button will open this menu. These two arrow keys will toggle between the next sound and the previous sound. And of course, you got pitch bend modulation. Very simple, very straightforward Rompler, and it's polyphonic. So yeah, I'm gonna be continuing to sample more of the GEM Equinox, hopefully in the coming month. I've already sampled the drawbars and I've already sampled the performances. Next is the actual sounds. So I have about, a couple of banks that I have to do, starting with bank A. And yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. As of now, it's going well. Everything is working. Now I just need to get the samples ready to go. So stay tuned, and I'm gonna keep you guys posted. Hey guys, how's it going? A little bit of an update, and unfortunately a big regression. So first of all, as you can actually see from the screen, yes, bank A has just been sampled. But now we have a problem. Take a look at the screen. As you can actually see, these are not the sounds. I just got in contact with Maze Sampler tech support, and unfortunately those files are not the sounds. The sounds are this: drawbar, bank A, perform. those are the sounds. Which unfortunately means that I have to redo the entire structure all over again, which does suck. The good news, though, is that they did get in touch with me. They did correct me on what the structure is like. So now we know exactly what to do to import sounds. And in addition, big news, we also might have to adjust the UI. Now, another thing I should point out is the fact that, well, the good news is that we found a way to do splits. So the good news is for all the performances that had the upper and the lower, now we can actually do splits in Maze Sampler. So that's the best news. Again, the downside is that I have to restart the structure of presets all over again. So yeah, I'm going to be probably spending a whole day doing that, but at the end of the day, what can you do? I mean, it was a glorious clusterfuck, and thank goodness Maze Sampler caught it, or else I would have given you guys a VST that only had 3 sounds. Anyway, I'm gonna keep you guys posted. I am not gonna sample any more sounds until I fix this bug. And one more discrepancy that I found is that, as you can actually see, root note 60, that is C3. Previously, it was set to a different note, so the good news is that I was able to correct that. But still, I gotta restart everything all over again. But not all hope is lost. The project file is still saved. It's just that now we have to tediously remove as many samples as possible and save the banks. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So stay tuned. The project is not dead. It's just gonna take a while longer to complete. Thank you. Hey guys, how's it going? We are so back, baby. Take a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, a new UI. We have a UI for the knobs, the UI for the faders. We have the big old Gem Equinox screen. And right down here is where you're going to be seeing the name of the patch. In addition, as you can actually see, I have reorganized the banks. So we got bank A, drawbars, and performance. If you open up the preset and it says file not found, all you have to do is locate this Gem Equinox folder and all the banks will be present in the synth. So yeah, with that being said, the sound selection is now complete with the restructuring. Everything is still the same. The only difference is now it's no longer 3 sounds. Now it's over 300 sounds. In addition to the UI, we are also going to be sampling tomorrow Bank B. So that means we've got Bank A, Bank B, performance, and drawbars, which means we have about, 9 pages left of sampling. So yeah, that's going to be quite an adventure. And then I got to do the entire process all over again, or I got to make the entire 128 sounds per bank. So yeah, see you guys later. Hey guys, how's it going? Francisco Bolena here. Okay, so I got an update for you guys. First of all, as you can actually see, everything has been mounted onto a USB, and right now it is the latest version. So if you look at the attached photo, there is a UI change. So basically what I did was, the previous UI was a bit of a mess. So what I did was I pretty much made all the knobs, all the faders, and the screen all uniform. So now there's no space. Everything is exactly where it should be. And now it looks more like a proper synth. In addition, Bank D has been sampled. So now we have Bank A to Bank D, we have performance, and we got the drawbars, which means tomorrow I'm going to be working on Bank E and F. So yes, I'm going to be doing 2 banks tomorrow. In addition, Thursday, I'm hoping to work on Bank G and the bank after that. So yeah, G&H. That's going to be the bank for Thursday. And I'm hoping to finish the rest of the banks by the weekend. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but fingers crossed, I'm hoping it is. One other thing I should mention, and this is actually breaking news from Maze Sampler themselves. I just got in contact with Maze Sampler tech support, and they are currently working on a new version of their engine, which means that yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. I am officially announcing that I am going to be releasing Equinox version 2. And the big thing about this version is that this one is going to be the final one, because just announced from Maze Sampler, a new feature is coming to their synth engine, which is the most important thing for Equinox, and that's time stretch. Because the fact that we're using samples right now in the current version, if you play the highest octave, the sample is gonna start speeding up. Hence why I had to do most of the sampling by C key every 20 seconds. So yeah, that's gonna be unfortunately a big drawback with the current version that we have. But the good news is the new version of Maze Sampler, their synth engine, is currently in the works, and it will have time stretch. Once it does, I'm going to restart the project, and this time the time stretch will be integrated, so hopefully we can finally play Equinox the way it was intended. Other than that, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the news I have for you guys so far. So once again, I'm going to keep you guys posted, and I'm going to see what happens as this project continues. Again, we are halfway through the sampling process, and it's only going to get bigger from here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Hey guys, how's it going? Francesco Bologna here. I'm just going to make this quick update on GEM Equinox. I finally sampled Bank E today, and right now my plan is working. So I managed to sample Bank E as well as the first General MIDI bank. So the good news is I have 2 more banks to go for General MIDIs 2 and 3. And then after that, hopefully during the weekend, I can sample the drum banks. Now, I'm not going to lie, the drum banks are going to be very difficult, as I'm going to need a lot more time to chop up the drum samples and scatter them throughout Maze Sampler. I'm not sure how Maze Sampler is going to handle these drums, but all I'm going to say is it's going to be hell this weekend. That's pretty much what I could say. Unless there is a way in Cakewalk Sonar or in any third-party tool where it would be easy to just get a tool to automatically chop up the drum samples without having to do a lot of back breaking, heavy lifting, any kind of stuff like that. Much help would be greatly appreciated. But until then, right now my main focus still is on Thursday to sample the last 2 sound banks of General MIDI. And yeah, this weekend I'll be taking on the drum sounds. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to keep you guys posted, and we'll see what happens. So stay tuned. Hey guys, how's it going? Francesco Bologna here. I've got an update for you guys regarding GEM Equinox. First of all, as you can actually see on the screen, yes, I was able to map the drum set of DK Standard as well as various other drum sets all the way to the DK Orchestra. And upon looking at the library, I just found out that there's not many drums to sample, so hopefully sampling the drums will be a lot easier than I expected. Now, unfortunately, I was supposed to sample General MIDI Bank 3. Unfortunately, that did not happen. And the reason being was because, first of all, the drum sampling took a lot longer than expected, as basically I had to sample basically the quarter notes and also sample the default notes from the standard kit, because the thing is, the way GEM Equinox works, you have the default sounds, and then around the C range you have the main sounds of that specific kit in general, and then after that it goes back to the default sounds for basically most of the kits in the general MIDI. Now, one big drawback that I found out, and this is the reason why I had to stop sampling my MIDI sounds, is because of this. This little section right here, manual select by user. By default, it's set to always selected. That means when you open up GEM Equinox, what ends up happening is you press a key and it plays all 128 patches at the same time, which really bogs your computer. So by setting it to manual select by user, you're basically selecting your sounds one at a time, which is how you're normally supposed to be operating a synthesizer. Anyway, that's been fixed, and it's been fixed for all the libraries. So I actually had to go back to all the previous libraries and actually apply the same fix. Everything is now to the latest version, but we're still running Maze Sampler, the current version. So the sooner we get that next version for the time stretch, that would be greatly appreciated. And because of this, I've hit a big snag. As I said, I was supposed to record General MIDI Bank 3, but that's not going to happen. Because of this drawback, it's hindered my progress, and now I unfortunately have no choice but to basically, I'm going to have to continue the General MIDI Bank 3 on Saturday. So yeah, that's a bit of a day of extra work, but I mean, what else can you do? It's out of my control, and there was no way I could prevent what happened. So yeah, that sucks, but at the end of the day, what else can you do? Anyway, I'm going to keep you guys updated with the sampling process. I'm still going to continue. As I said, I have 3 banks left to go: General MIDI Bank 3, Drum Bank 1, and Drum Bank 2. Once I do that, I can compile everything into a fully functional instrument, and then hopefully I can send it out for beta testing. I'm hoping by next week, if not the week after. So we'll have to see what happens. Until then, I'm going to keep you guys posted, and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Hey guys, how's it going? Francesco Bologna here. Okay, so I have updates regarding GEMClub Equinox. First of all, as you can actually see on the screen, it is finally official. I have now sampled General MIDI Bank 3, as well as integrated it into the VSTi plugin. In addition, I got some really big news regarding the plugin. We actually have a new UI. So if I actually open up the VSTi itself. So yeah, this is the official new VSTi UI. So basically I've added new stuff. For example, I've added distortion effects, I've added delay, I've added some chorus, and I've added some reverb as well. All of these effects are part of Maze Sampler, so these are all part of the Maze Sampler synth engine, which is what Equinox is currently running on. The only thing that is not running on natively on the Maze Soft is obviously the sounds of the Equinox, because these are all coming from the hardware instrument. So yes, that's big news regarding the project of GEMClub Equinox. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this new fix to basically every single library that I've ever done so far for Equinox. So Equinox is now going to have this new UI for basically every single library within the instrument. And on top of that, I actually have some updates regarding the drum sampling. I actually started working on the drum banks. So thanks to the General MIDI, I found a couple of banks that have already been sampled, so I won't ever have to sample these again. The downside, though, is that it's going to be a lot more difficult to sample the rest of the sound, so it might take a lot longer than expected. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can start doing the drum samples tomorrow and maybe continue Monday if worst case scenario. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens. Other than that, I actually did find something, but I'm really not sure how to sample it. I found some user sounds from the LFO store, but then again, I don't know the legalities of if it's possible to sample these specific sounds onto the instrument. Honestly, I have no idea, and that's why I'm probably going to need some advice regarding that. But other than that, a bit of bad news though. I'm not sure if you guys have heard. Ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Matteo Galanti has passed away. And with that, I would like to get in front of my Equinox right here. And if you guys can join me, 30 seconds for a moment of silence, please. Matteo Galanti, you are an amazing innovator, an amazing person. And to be honest with you, I am super happy that you were involved with General Music, because still to this day, General Music is very important to me. I mean, without General Music, I never got into music in the first place, and I never would have started working on GEMClub Equinox for all the fans. And you know what? This is something that means everything to me right now. So I want to send out sincere condolences to Matteo Galanti and his family. And ladies and gentlemen, let's hope that we can continue playing his instruments in his honor. Matteo Galanti, rest in peace. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted. Hey guys, how's it going? Francisco Bologna here. Have I got an update for you guys? So basically, ladies and gentlemen, I am happy to announce, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, all the drum kits have now been sampled and they have now been integrated into the plugin, which means now we have the drums, we have the 3 general MIDI banks, we have 5 standard banks, performance, drawbar, and yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna sample the drum waves. So that's 2 banks left to go, and they should be easy. They should be smooth sailing from here on in. And I'm hoping by the end of the week that I can compile everything into the instrument, and then we can pretty much release it as beta. I'm not going to release it as a final version, obviously, because I'm still waiting for Maze Sampler to release the new version with the time stretch. So until then, this project is going to remain in beta for as long as possible until the new version is released. So yeah, it's a bit of a drawback, but what are you going to do? I mean, it's missing that one key ingredient that GEM Equinox needs to function as a proper synthesizer VST. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I might need your help, because this next part, again, I do not know the legalities of this, but I apparently found a user bank of GEM Equinox. And right now, from my understanding, it is probably the only user bank that's available. And I mean, unless you guys have more user banks that you would like to share with me, that you would like to sample yourselves, send to me and I can integrate them into GEM Equinox, that would be greatly appreciated. This came from the LFO store, and right now it is the only user bank that is available for GEM Equinox. Now, because I'm sampling the entire library of GEM Equinox, like I said, it would be nice to have the user samples as well in this instrument, because at the end of the day, I mean, that's the only bank that is currently missing. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you would be interested in having user sounds, and let me know if you have any user banks on your end available to me so that I can integrate them into the VST. At the end of the day, this plugin is specifically made by the fans for the fans. So much assistance with this collaboration would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, again, I'm going to continue tomorrow with banks drum 2 and 3. And like I said, if all goes well, hopefully by end of week, I can pretty much release GEM Equinox as a beta. So, yeah. I'm going to keep you guys posted, and we'll see what happens. So, stay tuned. Hey guys, how's it going? Francisco Bologna here. Cheers. It's done. Ladies and gentlemen, all the banks have officially been sampled. Obviously, all except for the user bank. But with all these samples integrated into the plugin, that means we have at least 4.5 gigabytes of sound. So, yeah, there should be something for everybody. Anyway, what I'm going to do now for the rest of the week is I'm going to beta test it, and I'm hoping by Friday to release it as a beta. Again, I have to compile it. I have to send it as an instrument file, and then, yeah, everything should be ready to go by Friday. Other than that, I'm still going to investigate that user bank, that sysx file, so yeah, much help would be greatly appreciated, but until then, I mean, that's pretty much what I have for now, So yeah, thank you guys very much for joining me on this specific journey to recreate Equinox as a virtual instrument. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.